Let me take a moment and talk about Riverside.fm. It allows you to record studio quality audio and up to 4K video. When you need to record audio and video, Riverside.fm can do it. So if you're looking for a hero platform for all your recording needs, from podcasts to webinars to any video content, Riverside.fm. I've got a promo code for you where you'll receive a 30% discount on the first 3 months of your subscription. I'll give it to you twice. The promo code is SHIPIT. All one word, SHIPIT, and you'll pick up a 30% discount on your first 3 months of your subscription. Riverside.fm.
In this episode of the Football History Headlines, we discuss a couple of developmental leagues that arose, as well as many more Hall of Fame legendary stories and some birthdays of some great defensive back coming up for you in just a moment.
This is the Pigskin Daily History Dispatch, a podcast that covers the anniversaries of American football events throughout history on a day-to-day basis. Your host, Darren Hayes, is podcasting from America's North Shore to bring you the memories of the gridiron, one day at a time. So as we come out of the tunnel of the Sports History Network, let's take the field and go no huddle through the portal of positive gridiron history with pigskindispatch.com.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com.
Hello, my football friends. This is Darren Hayes of pigskindispatch.com. Welcome once again to the Pig Pen, your portal to positive football history. And we have some great things to talk about. Some very interesting defensive backs that are in the Hall of Fame that have birthdays. We're going to talk about a developmental league that started up here. But first, let's start off in February 10th, 1961. In the American Football League's Los Angeles Chargers made the move south to the city of San Diego. They call San Diego home for almost 5 decades before moving to LA just a few short years ago. That's right, the Los Angeles Chargers rise once again, but they were the San Diego Chargers as of February 10th, 1961. February 10th, 1989, St. Louis, Missouri, the minor league football system opened organizational meetings. According to the Fun While It Lasted website story, on the subject, the project was an effort to develop a nationwide semi-pro football league. The MLFS had some teams across the country, from the Pacific Northwest to New England to the Deep South during the summers of 1989 and 1990. The league aspired to become a developmental feeder system for the National Football League, but no formal relationship ever developed, and we'll talk about another one of these in just a few moments. February 10th, 2007, the NFL Pro Bowl was played in Aloha Stadium in Honolulu. Sounds nice and warm there in Hawaii, doesn't it? Well, this showcase of top talent in the league resulted in a 31-28 AFC victory over their NFC counterparts. The most valuable player of the game was quarterback Carson Palmer, then of the Cincinnati Bengals. Remember when Palmer used to play with the Bengals? He had some pretty good teams there, Ocho Cinco and some of the other great wide receivers, Hushmanzada, and Corey Dillon was running the ball for him back then. But yeah, Carson Palmer was the MVP of a Pro Bowl game. February 10th, 2008 at Aloha Stadium, Honolulu, we're going to talk about another NFL Pro Bowl game, the 2007 season's game, and the NFC knocked around the AFC squad 42-30. Minnesota Vikings running back Adrian Peterson took home the Most Valuable Player award in that game. February 10th, 2019 at Spectrum Stadium, Orlando, Florida, the Orlando Apollos crushed the Atlanta Legends 40-6 to kick off the Alliance of American Football, the AAF. The 8 centrally owned and operated teams got the Startup Developmental League underway, but unfortunately, the group lost funding and disbanded the league partway through its inaugural season. Remember, that took place shortly after the Super Bowl. That was the big promotion there. They had all kinds of great coaches, former NFL coaches and college coaches, and all kinds of very highly recruited players that didn't make it in the NFL were playing in the AAF. That was their ticket to try to get back in there. And the AAF also, just like earlier when we talked about the MLF, they were trying to become a feeder system for the NFL. Well, that's what the AAF was also trying to do. And the NFL couldn't even use their own feeder system with the World League of Football, or NFL Europe as it was called. Now, Hall of Fame birthdays for today: February 10th, 1946, Midland, Michigan. University of Colorado safety Dick Anderson was born. Anderson had the size and athleticism to play multiple positions on the Buffs defense. At 6'2" and weighing in at 198 pounds, with speed and quickness, he was mainly a safety, but often rolled up closer to the line to play what we would now call a hybrid linebacker, way before his time. According to the National Football Federation's website bio on him, Dick, against Oregon in 1967, intercepted 3 passes, knocked down 2 others to the turf, and made 2 touchdown-saving tackles. Blocked 2 men on a teammate's pick 6, and just some amazing feats in that game. It was performances like that aided Anderson in becoming an All-American selection at safety. In 3 years, Dick had 14 interceptions, 123 unassisted tackles, and both were school records. Dick Anderson received the great honor of being selected for inclusion into the College Football Hall of Fame in 1993. On February 10, 1965, Fort Wayne, Indiana, the cornerback with world speed from Purdue, Rod Woodson, arrived in this world. Per his bio on the footballfoundation.org website, Rod was the 1986 runner-up for the Jim Thorpe Award. Plus, he left Purdue holding 13 individual school records. He left Purdue as a career leader in solo tackles, interceptions, interception return yardage, interceptions returned for touchdowns, kickoff returns, and kickoff return yardage. And he still ranks in the top 5 in nearly every category. Rod Woodson was honored with induction in the College Football Hall of Fame in 2016 after the National Football Foundation tallied up their votes. Woodson was the 10th overall player taken in the 1987 NFL Draft. He was picked by the Pittsburgh Steelers. All he did was produce great stats for the majority of his career. In 1993, he was the Defensive Player of the Year and was a 6-time All-Pro during his 17-year career. Rod picked off 71 career passes and held the NFL record for interception return yards at 1,473 when he retired. And besides the Steelers, Woodson played with the 49ers, the Ravens, and the Raiders. Rod Woodson was enshrined in the Pro Football Hall of Fame in the year 2009. And finally, we have a February 10th, 1974 birthday, Alquippa, Pennsylvania. Ty Law, the ball-hawking corner from Michigan University, was born. He was drafted by the New England Patriots in the first round of the 1995 NFL Draft. And Law played for 15 seasons in the NFL and registered 53 interceptions and returned those picks for 828 career yards in his career. Now, Ty Law led the league in interceptions in 2 different seasons and played in 5 Pro Bowls. Law was a member of 3 Super Bowl teams and helped his team, the Patriots, raise the Lombardi twice. And after 10 brilliant seasons with the Pats, he also played with the Jets, Chiefs, and Broncos before he retired. The 2019 ceremonies of retirement saved a spot in their program for Ty Law's induction into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And we thank you for staying with us and listening to that great history. We told you there were some great defensive backs, and we had 3 or 4 of them in those Hall of Fame birthdays. Just tremendous players. We also got to talk about some upstart leagues that had some hopes to help the NFL out. Just fell a little short, but hey, we're hoping that something sticks here one of these years. We always have some of those leagues coming up, and maybe one of them or 2 will stay around for a little longer, and we'll get to see some great memories of those players too. So for more great memories, you can join us over on the Jersey Dispatch, Sports Jersey Dispatch podcast, jerseydispatch.com. We'll talk about the great legends of all 4 major team sports in North America, basketball, football, hockey, and of course, baseball. So make sure you check us out. I'm going to learn a lot through the jersey numbers and uniforms these players wore, and I hope to take you along with me on that ride, so join us there. Also, we have links to our email list. You want to get on that subscribe list, you'll get everything for Jersey Dispatch, everything from Pigskin Dispatch. We'll tap into see what's going on at the Sports History Network and all of our podcasts for both of our sites here, including our audio drama that we work with Oz Davis and number 80 Productions, Orville Mulligan Sports Writer. So make sure you check that out too. Until tomorrow, everybody, have a great gridiron day.
Peeking up at the clock, the time's running down. We're going to go into victory formation, take a knee, and let this baby run out. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you back tomorrow for the next podcast. we invite you to check out our website, pigskindispatch.com, not only to see the daily football history, but to experience positive football with our many articles on the good people of the game, as well as our own football comic strip, Cleat Marks Comics. Pigskindispatch.com is also on social media outlets, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and don't forget the Pigskin Dispatch YouTube channel to get all of your positive football news and history. A special thanks to the talents of Mike and Gene Monroe, as well as Jason Neff for letting us use their music during our podcast.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com.
Are you having a hard time figuring out what to get Dad for Father's Day? You should check out Row 1 Brand's Vintage Pictorum Gallery. They have America's best sports art. With over 7,200 historic sports prints, you're assured to find something unique for Dad this Father's Day. Instead of a boring old tie, get him a historic baseball photo taken by Henry High Sandham at the historic Polo Grounds Stadium in New York City during the 1894 Temple Cup. Or, if he's an NFL buff, check out the 1963 vintage NFL poster. These are so good looking that you'll be amazed how they turn out. Shop now at sportshistorynetwork.com/row1 and save 15% off your order.